Forward. Who am I? Why Amy here? These questions are among the oldest put forth by honest men and women who are seeking answers to the age-old question, what is life about? It is an unfortunate truth that many people live with a quiet desperation, and some die plagued by the vague uneasiness that somehow they have missed it. Others wander aimlessly, a few purposefully, attempting to solve the puzzle posed by life. Many Christians have proclaimed that salvation is the be-all and end-all of life here. Salvation is certainly the single most important element in time and eternity, but there are many truly saved Christians who feel unfulfilled, even as they agonize, fast, and pray in an attempt to salve the nagging sense that there is something more to life. Yes, they know Jesus. Yes, many have been filled with the Holy Spirit. Still, the great majority wonder, what lies beyond salvation and the baptism of the Spirit? Unleash Your Purpose goes a long way toward answering these questions. No single book except the Bible can answer all your questions, but drawing from the wellspring of divine revelation, life experience, and intelligent scholarship, Dr. Myles MUNROE has fashioned a compass that can focus you on the path toward fulfillment, while providing the answer to the all-encompassing question, why Amy here? You have not picked up this book by accident. You haven't wandered here aimlessly. There is method to this journey, and a solution may be at hand. Perhaps, you will find in these pages what you have been seeking for years, purpose. Ben Kinchlow, Virginia Beach, Virginia. Preface. The greatest tragedy in life is not death, but life without a reason. It is dangerous to be alive and not know why you were given life. One of the most frustrating experiences is to have time, but not know why. From the beginning of man's history as we know it, mankind has been grappling with the age-old questions, why am I here? What is the reason for my existence? What is the meaning of my life? Is there a reason for the universe, the creation, and man? These questions are universal. They lurk deep within the secret chambers of every human being on Earth, regardless of race, color, ethnic heritage, socioeconomic status, or nationality. Philosophers such as Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, and others throughout the ages have attempted to explore these seemingly elusive questions. For the most part, their efforts have ended in more questions than answers. The deepest craving of the human spirit is to find a sense of significance and relevance. The search for relevance in life is the ultimate pursuit of man. Conscious or unconscious, admitted or not, this internal passion is what motivates and drives every human being, either directly or indirectly. It directs his decisions, controls his behavior, and dictates his responses to his environment. This need for significance is the cause of great tragedies. Many suicides and attempted suicides owe their manifestation to this compelling need. Many mass murderers and serial killers confess the relationship of their antisocial behavior to their need to feel important or to experience a sense of self-worth. This passion for relevance and a sense of significance makes one race or ethnic group elevate itself above another. It also gives birth to prejudice and causes the fabrication of erroneous perceptions that result in grave injustices and the conception of abominable dreams and inhuman behavior. It also gives birth to tyrants and dictators who easily sacrifice the sacredness of life and dignity for a temporary sense of significance. This desperate desire to feel important and relevant to one's existence also causes the sacrifice of common sense, good judgment, moral standards, and basic human values. Many individuals have sacrificed excellent reputations and years of character-building lifestyles for the sake of advancement to a desired position or a place of recognition and fame in their society or workplace so they could feel important and worthwhile. This passion for a sense of significance and meaning in life is also the fuel for most capitalist and progressive economies. There are millions of individuals who sacrifice their families, friends, and convictions in the attempt to gain a sense of significance. Accumulating status symbols and material possessions, they seek a position of importance and meaning. In essence, this deep desire and drive for a sense of importance, significance, and relevance is the cause and the motivate conflict. This passion for significance knows no boundaries. Rich and poor are victims of its power. King and peasant suffer under its rule. Is this passion for a meaningful life a negative craving? Absolutely not. This yearning for relevance is evidence of an internal vacuum in the nature of mankind that needs to be filled. Passion is the pursuit of purpose, a relentless reaching for a reason for the gift of life. Unleash Your Purpose was written as a result of my long pursuit and ultimate discovery of my purpose in life. I have come to realize the fundamental nature of this search for every man, woman, youth, and child, and have, therefore, set forth some of the essential principles, precepts, and concepts that you must understand as you embark or continue on your journey of discovering your purpose. Remember, purpose is the only source of individual and corporate fulfillment. Join me on a journey that I know you will enjoy. It will make you ask yourself some deep, searching questions, it will challenge your resolve, and it will encourage you to check your definitions of life, success, and effectiveness. Come, let us begin to unleash your purpose. Introduction. Let me go. Please let me die, sobbed the frail, old gentleman as the strong, young swimmer struggled against the boisterous waves of the open ocean. Just a few more minutes, sir, and I will have you safely to shore, replied the young man, gasping for every breath. Finally they made it to the beach and both fell, desperately exhausted, onto the sand. Why did you save me? Cried the angry 76-year-old man. Why didn't you let me die? Your good deed is the curse of my existence. Startled by these words, the man looked down at the older man who had nearly drowned. As he panted from the heroic effort of rescuing the victim from the violent waves, he shook his head, revealing the shock and the mystification that filled his mind. Winston had known Mr. Cambridge for 20 years. He had always admired the hard-working businessman for his success. To him, Mr. Cambridge was a role model that embodied all he hoped to be someday. Having worked all his life to achieve the status of being the wealthiest man in the city, Mr. Cambridge owned millions of dollars worth of investments and an enviable mansion on the beachfront. He was the father of 3 well-educated children who all worked in his companies and the husband of a woman who loved him. Hundreds of friends, relatives, and admirers looked to him for inspiration and guidance. Perplexed by the disparity between his observations of Mr. Cambridge's life and the gentleman's desire to die, Winston asked, "But, sir, why do you want to die?" Little did Winston know that the answer to this question would change his life forever. It may change yours as well. As tears flooded his aged eyes, the old man buried his face in his hands and lamented, "What was it all for? Is this all there is? What did I gain? I have everything and yet nothing. Everyone thinks I am a success, but I am a failure. I have given everything and received nothing. I made my parents happy and proud of me, and my wife has everything she could desire. My children want for nothing, and my reputation among my friends, associates, and enemies is impressive. Still I am empty, depressed, frustrated, and sad. My life has no meaning. Unlike my bank accounts, which are well filled, I am unfulfilled. Everyone knows what I am, but I still don't know why I am. For years I have been so driven by the expectations of others that I have not discovered my personal reason for being. I do not wish to live with such emptiness. Today I decided it was better to be dead than to be alive and not know why." These words pierced the younger man's soul. As he attempted to regain his composure, the old man took his hand, looked into his eyes with a soul-searching gaze and said, "Son, do not strive to be like me. Find out who you are and be yourself." As the medics carried the old man away and the sound of the ambulance faded in the distance, young Winston stood staring out to sea. He was not really aware of his surroundings, for the old man's words had stirred him deeply. "Who am I?"